Well, a father's court battle to save his daughter being held in the hospital against her parents' wishes. We're going to talk to an attorney familiar with Justina Pelletier's case, a legal expert who represented the parents of Terri Schiavo in that landmark case. That's next. A Boston father says no more, several months after the state took custody of his daughter, shortly after he took her to Boston Children's Hospital to be treated for the flu. A judge has since issued a gag order so that the parties to the case, including the family, could not speak publicly. Well, Lou Pelletier says his daughter, Justina, suffers from mitochondrial disease. This was diagnosed, he says, by a top doctor at Tufts Medical Center. But medical personnel at Boston Children's Hospital apparently disagree, saying she has a psychological condition. A resulting legal battle has led to the state getting custody of Justina. Her father, Lou, says she has steadily deteriorated, going from appearing in ice skating shows and living a normal life to now virtually being paralyzed from the waist down and in constant pain.
Every time I see her, my knees buckle. I cry after. It's just tearing apart our family. There's no reason why somebody in this country couldn't have stopped this and said, time out.
All right, joining us now to discuss the case is attorney David Gibbs, president of the National Center for Life and Liberty. By the way, they're possibly talking with the family about helping them in this legal battle. And Gibbs, by the way, represented the parents of Terri Schiavo in that landmark case about who makes these medical decisions that can literally mean the difference between life and death, and certainly did in that case. David, thank you for joining us.
Oh, Shannon, it's my privilege to be with you. And this case is shocking to me because everybody understands that decisions have to be made, that there's judgment calls, that whether it's a doctor or a social worker, there are opinions and they can make mistakes. But what's heartbreaking about this case is the judgment of the parents is being trampled upon. Our Supreme Court has said for over 100 years that parents have the fundamental right to make decisions, to direct and control the upbringing of their children. And we're watching those rights in this case be trampled, where these parents are being told, we the government, we the doctors know better than you. And it's going to create a spook in parents across the nation. They're going to say, boy, should I go to the hospital? Should I go to the doctor? Should I go to the emergency care? Or will they step in and try to take away my children? It's shocking that this could happen in our nation.
All right, and just so folks know, she has a sister who also was diagnosed with the same mitochondrial disease, has been treated by that doctor at Tufts. So, you know, the family feels there's clearly evidence that's been medically diagnosed and scientifically diagnosed to say that Justina also has the same problem. I want to make sure that we read part of the statement that came from Boston Children's Hospital to Megyn Kelly in the Kelly file, where Justina's father appeared this week. They say Boston Children's Hospital is deeply concerned by misinformation surrounding this case, but the hospital is unable to comment on specific patient care matters. Though we are required by state law to report cases of suspected child maltreatment, DCF, that's the Division of Children and Families, is solely responsible for investigating those reports and for deciding whether to go to court to request temporary custody, which they did in this case. And David, you and I have talked about the fact that it appears now that DCF has filed contempt charges against the father because he has gone public.
Well, Shannon, that's what's very troublesome to me also. Our government should be operating in the sunshine. They should be looking at this issue and saying, we're willing to put our judgments out, we're willing to put our information out, we're willing to let everybody see. At the National Center for Life and Liberty, we were contacted after word got out through Fox News and Glenn Beck and others that were speaking to this issue. And it is very fearful that when the government is stepping in and saying, okay, we're going to trample the rights of the parents, we're going to put our judgment in place, and then we're going to do it secret. Matter of fact, worse than secret, we're going to use the force of government to punish a father. He's now got contempt charges coming up where they could literally put him in jail for speaking out in favor of his daughter and trying to act in her best interest. And every parent across America, every grandparent, every concerned citizen needs to say, wait a minute. Why do we want our government? Why do we want our courts? Why do we want our social workers? Why do we want doctors stepping in and literally punishing parents for trying to act and speak up on behalf of their children? There's a lot of things about this case that are very, very troubling, and I do realize there's a lot of facts, there's a lot of information, there's medical records, but the core issue of who is in the best position to prayerfully and lovingly make the decision, I'll always side with a good mom and dad over a government official or a judge or a social worker trying to step in when a parent says, I really believe this is best.
All right, David, thank you for offering us your expertise. We will stay closely in touch with you as this case develops, and we understand there is a hearing tomorrow, and we'll keep folks updated on that. David, thank you.
Shannon, thank you. And again, it's always an honor to be on your program.